How's it going, everybody? It's Fandom Empire Live, episode 99, Wednesday night. Holy fuck. Can't remember the last time I was down here on a Wednesday night doing something YouTube and or podcast related. It's been quite some time. Probably Star Wars Wastelands days. There might have been the odd Fandom Empire Live that might have happened on a Wednesday. It's hump day, or rather hump night. Hopefully everybody's getting their humps in. Let's just have a fun one tonight, because last night ended in... I don't know what the fuck the end of last night was. I'm still trying to figure it out. And joining me to figure that out right now, first up, he is the co-host of the Rick and Morty Fan Show, and we're going to talk Rick and Morty tonight on Fandom Empire Live, along with Halloween Kills and our top 10 comic book movies. And I got a bit of a review I want to give on the pilot episode of Superman and Lois. I know it's way late. And a bunch of other things. But joining me, Mr. Kieron. How's it going, man?
Freshly shaved. And,
I was gonna say, you're like
everything's all
cosplay Kieron.
good. Everything's all good. I had to do a little bit of house cleaning today. I turned my studio camera a little bit today, so being as we're doing comic books, you can see all my awesome X-Men action figures on the wall there. So, which I think I showed last week anyways, but yeah, everything's going good. Everything's going good.
Modern Scripts is already sent a question in that I just don't even know how to begin to tackle. I really don't.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The answer is no. They are not the same as superheroes, because you have those who are more anti-heroes, who are, the protagonist, I guess, the main character, and they count too.
Well, and there's comic books about things that have nothing to do with superheroes. It just at some point in time, I think it was more in the 60s or 70s. They switched over to be superheroes, predominantly about superheroes. Before that, actually, horror comics were more popular before that than superhero comics. But so lots of things come from comic books. Archie is a comic book. Garfield is a comic book. They're not superheroes. So they're different.
God. Frank Riker says, I heard Johnny V thinks cousin fucking is okay. I can't speak for Johnny. I'm sure he didn't mean... I think he didn't mean for last night to end the way it did. But it ended that way, and he's eating some crow. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. If we got more crazy, if we got more into crazy scenarios and philosophies and stuff like that, I'm sure that I would say things that people don't like too. I don't know. I got some opinions that are crazy. I got some opinions that are most like everyone else, but...
What are your crazy opinions?
No, we're not doing this again. We're going to streamline this show. This one's not going to go almost 3 hours. The fact is we won't have the audience we normally have on here this evening, just because most people didn't know we were doing this, and social media, specifically Facebook, doesn't like to notify people. So we try to tag them, which we get can be annoying, but in my opinion, the way Facebook used to work is you would have anybody in your group, unless they marked that they don't want to be notified, would always get posts. And now it's not that case at all with groups or pages. So it's suspect. Wayne Gotke, my boy. Sean is sending Johnny for sensitivity training. It's important to note that whenever anything comes out of my mouth or Tommy's mouth or Kieran's mouth or Mike or Johnny or anybody, that it doesn't represent the views of all of Fandom Empire. It just represents the views of that individual. I think. ... Anyways, let's dive into this. Right out of the gate, I want to give a little bit of a review and then just sort of go on with it. You guys can ask any questions, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability, whether it's the chat or even Tommy or Kieran. I don't know if you've seen it, but Jade and I sort of made a conscious decision it's probably like a month ago, 2 months ago, that we were going to give this Superman and Lois show a try. And then we never did because I was doing a Smallville rewatch. And I thought to myself, if I start watching Superman and Lois while I'm still rewatching Smallville, I'm not going to give that show a proper, shake, a proper chance, because I just love Smallville. And so I waited till we were done. And then today we finally decided we're going to try an episode. Let's try episode 1 and go from there. And was not prepared for just what happened. Like the quality for CW outside of Supernatural, dare I should say, those shows lack a lot. And even Supernatural in those final, 8 or 9 seasons kind of lacked compared to where it used to be. But I was blown away. Like, I would give the Superman and oh my God, Kieron must have froze. Oh no, he's still here. No, he's not.
Did you just say the final 8 or 9 seasons?
Of Supernatural, yeah, I think they're...
So the majority of the show is what you're saying?
Yeah, I felt that way.
I'm just curious why you use the term the final 8 or 9 when that only leaves, 5 or 6?
Yeah, I think specifically after the first 7 seasons, the show, really the first 5, but you could extend it to the first 7 seasons, the show got kind of watered down, and you could see the budgeting coming into play, and I just didn't have a very high expectation for Superman and Lois. It's not my go-to by any means, and yet I was completely blown away by it. It might be the best TV pilot I've ever seen, period, which is saying something, but it also makes me worried about the episode quality dipping going forward. But I was blown away. I think it's better than any Superman movie I've ever seen, and I definitely understand why. I think it's only 10 episode seasons.
That's not a high bar to clear.
Not for me, anyways. It's not a high bar to clear. Some people love the Superman movies. I've never seen a
Superman movie I've liked.
I didn't mind Batman versus Superman, but
it just depends on if you like the classic ones, because a lot of people
Mind you, I haven't seen them all because comic book movies just aren't my thing. But yeah, I have never seen a Superman movie I've gone crazy over. Now, I didn't keep going like Sean here did. I fell off the bandwagon, but I really enjoyed what I have seen of Smallville so far. That's different.
Yeah, I think if you just like I want to see Superman go kick someone's ass, I don't think Superman and Lois is going to be for you. This deals with some really deep family drama, and for the longest,
that's good, then that's different.
For the longest time, it was rumored that this was supposed to be a follow-up for Smallville, and that never came to be. So then they ended up going with the guys that used in the Arrowverse, if you will, which I'm not a big fan of. But they're not actually those characters. So, the people that you see on screen have nothing to do with the Arrowverse or anything like that. It's just standalone. Toronto Freddy says, you think it's better than Man of Steel? I think it blows Man of Steel out of the water. I don't even think it's close. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I hate him as Clark Kent. That to me, he's not Clark Kent at all. Not my Clark Kent anyway. If it's someone else's, that's great. But yeah, no, the storytelling I think is just far better than what I've seen in a Superman movie. That said, it's one episode, and it felt like a longer episode, so I don't know if the first episode's normal TV length or if it was like a 2-hour premiere. I don't know, but it felt longer than like a 40-minute episode. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just too enthralled with the story. So I would definitely say give it a chance. I'm hyping it up a lot, but you should also know I went into it with no expectations. So if you go in expecting the greatest thing ever, you might get disappointed. But for me, I went in expecting to be disappointed and was blown away. Dude, you're insane. No, man, it's subjective. It's subjective. I was saying today, so someone posted a status, and that person tunes into the channel once in a while, and the guy, just absolutely picked apart this one guy for saying he doesn't like the sequel trilogy. He didn't threaten him or anything like that, but he definitely put him down and borderline bullied the guy. And I basically told the guy to give your fucking head a shake. You know, Kieron loves The Last Jedi. I don't like The Last Jedi. I think Tommy probably falls somewhere in the middle. That's fine. You know, people like what they like, and I know Toronto Freddy's not saying it like that, but yeah, no, I was completely blown away by it. But I'd highly recommend everybody give it a shot.
My number one on my comic book list is very controversial. Some people are gonna think I'm fucking crazy.
Hopefully it's not Batman and Robin, considering it was on your worst.
Well, that would make me kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Don't forget, you can send in a super chat, support the channel on that level, even though there's hardly anybody tuning in tonight, and that's fine. It's a impromptu show. We changed the schedule. That's to be expected. I'll probably send out a YouTube reminder in a bit to see if anybody else comes in. Any questions on Superman and Lois, guys, that I can answer without spoiling anything, or just move on to the next thing?
I'm gonna watch it, so I'm okay without
Have they finished their first season yet?
No. I think they just came back from their mid-season break. Like, I think they're only on episode 6 or something. So There's not many episodes because it's just so damn expensive, right? So, like, you will notice the production quality difference. So, not to mention, Man of Steel has Amy Adams, who I fucking hate. I know she's a award-winning actress, but like, she annoys the just fuck out of me. I don't know. I think of her and I think Tina from Halloween 5. Oh, God. No! Anyway.
Awful movie. Reason it was on my list yesterday.
I'm disappointed in everybody for putting Halloween 5 on their list.
I think I was the only one.
I had it on mine.
All right.
Was it? I did miss the last few. Okay.
I think it was on Michael's too, wasn't it?
No, he had Resurrection.
Okay.
Fair warning.
What about Johnny?
Resurrection.
Oh, well, who gives a fuck what Johnny thinks anyways?
Taboo?
I don't know. I was pretty surprised with all those lists. Like, Tommy admitted that he fucking likes that movie where people eat each other's shit or whatever.
The human centipede.
Human caterpillar or whatever it was.
Last night's show was really fucked up. It felt like Mondo had snuck his way back into these things. Which Kieron might not get, but Tommy would. All right.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was an experience. There were times where Mondo and I were having back and forth going. He just kept going, and people thought we hated each other. And
this went on for like a year.
We actually at one point did get into a heated argument. I got pissed off.
I remember. It is what it is, though. All right, let's shift gears here, guys. Let's talk some Rick and Morty. Let's get into Kieron's universe. I don't see any of his usual guests here. I think one of the Living Stones was here. Brenny was.
Yeah. Lance is in there.
Is he? Lance is in there?
He was there.
So
got a comment in there.
Help me out here, man. The way Rick and Morty was described to me even before I met you was, has a really cult following that's growing and people are really passionate about it. But now it doesn't really feel like a cult following anymore. It feels like, to me, like it's a very mainstream thing now. And like, I can't walk into a store without seeing Rick and Morty on, a bong or a weed tray or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, it doesn't look like a cult following anymore. Now we know there's a spin-off coming. I would not be shocked for a few years from now you find out there'll be a movie of some sort. Not a live-action movie, obviously, I wouldn't think. Or maybe none of those are in the cards. Harmon and Roiland seem like they have their hands in a bunch of different pots, Kieron. So my question to you is, are you a little worried that they could oversaturate this thing and run it into the ground? Because typically when things get oversaturated, they get run into the ground. Or do you think these guys have, their kitchen under control?
I'm not worried about it. I mean, as for the health of the show, before last season came out, there was a 70 episode order, so 7 seasons. So they're I mean, yeah, that doesn't mean it's going to happen for that long. It doesn't mean they're not going to have a problem, but like Adult Swim was happy enough to give a cartoon that's only in its 3rd season, or was in its 3rd season at the time, 70 more episodes, bringing it all the way to 100, which is like a lot of the times a big milestone for any show to get to 100 episodes, right? So I'm not worried about that. The fan base, it's been described as toxic, but like I run my own show. I've known so many people. Everyone I know who likes Rick and Morty just wants, they're pretty fun people. They like to have a good time. I think the fan base will stick around. There's not really anything else there like Rick and Morty. And I mean, a lot of the ideas and things that you get from Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are like, these guys have been around for a long time. And you listen to their podcasts, you watch their other shows, you watch Community. These things are very well thought out. They're very well planned out. And the other thing that they do to not run into any problems is that they don't continue with the ongoing story for very many episodes. So you get 10 episodes a season. You might get 2 that actually have a reoccurring storyline that goes throughout the series. It's mostly just standalone fun stuff, random ideas. I've kind of gotten into I've kind of got a little bit of inside information on how they're made, and basically like they just throw ideas out there. They throw crazy ideas out there. And Dan Harmon is the one who kind of reels it in and tells people like, oh, wait, let's hit on that point, and kind of directs things in a certain way. And the creative process for that show is, in my opinion, I think the creative process for that show is never going to run out. It's going to be like South Park. Actually, I would say it's very much like South Park. They come up with a fun idea, they elaborate on it. It could be anything about anything, and they could continue on it for so long. And, as long as humans are doing crazy, new, and different things, which will be forever, there's always going to be people who are smart enough to pick up funny ideas about life and put them into action as a cartoon show.
That's a little questionable what you said about. I think everything you said is great, Kieron, but that's a little questionable about South Park. Because do they still make stuff from time to time? Yeah. The last 2 specials they did, the pandemic special and the vaccine special, those were great. But I don't know if their lack of interest or their involvement with other projects is the only reason why they've stopped pushing things out as often. I'm wondering if they have reached a pivot point, if you know what I mean. Are their ideas starting to run out? In the past few seasons, they have changed a lot of things. Maybe for that reason, they were running out of ideas with the format they were working with. Acknowledging all this, do you ever see Rick and Morty hitting a similar bump, maybe we might say?
It's possible, and yeah, the tone of the show South Park has changed a bunch of times. Like, the first 5 seasons are not comparable to the next 5, not comparable to the next 5. It seems like they kind of redo the show every once in a while, but Rick and Morty does that about every season. So every season, the family is kind of takes on a different shape. There's, in season 3, Jerry is basically kicked out of the family, and he's living on his own. He gets his own place and tries to replace Beth. And then in season 4, he ends up getting back together with the family. There are seasons where it's more based on certain characters. I don't think they're going to run out of ideas. Honestly, if you listen to Justin Roiland's old podcast, like, he comes up with ideas mid-sentence all the time. He's just a fucking crazy dictionary of knowledge, and he just, I don't know, he's just he's a perfect computer to just figure out things that make people go like, what the fuck? And he knows exactly what to say, and he comes up with things like like I said, mid-sentence in the podcast, they come up with things randomly. So I don't think that creativeness is gonna slow down anytime soon. The only thing I would worry about is that they go too far and they do something that gets them canceled. But
it's not hard today.
I guess with the fan base and with how Adult Swim is kind of like Adult Swim, most of their shows are shows that are for adults and they're cartoons, and they all cross the line, but they cross the line in the way that they're like, hey, we're just a cartoon. Like, we're not to be taken seriously, in the same way South Park, again, right?
Speaking of cancel, I thought Johnny was going to get us canceled last night. So.
Ain't no one going to cancel us. There's worse stuff on YouTube.
Man. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Matt Whitfield in with a $10 super chat. Did Leprechaun come from a comic book? Asking for a friend, LOL. Cereal box, I believe. Anyway. Sorry, where was I? So Rick and Morty, they're doing a lot right now, Harmon and Roiland, are they not? I don't know how much, like, do they do everything together, or do they have their own separate projects? Because don't they have a series on Netflix, and then there's Rick and Morty, and then they have another spin-off, and then there's the stuff that you're going to have in your video, and it seems like there's a lot going on.
I believe Rick and Morty is the only thing that they do together currently. They are going to be producing the new spin-off that happens to be The Vindicators, which is based on an episode in season 3 where they have basically an Avengers type team, but basically Rick murders all of them in the episode. So trying to prove how stupid they are, he basically murders them all. But
I remember that. That was a good episode.
Yeah, I love that episode. It's one of my favorites. To be honest, it's one that I put on quite often. So they work on that together, but Solar Opposites is just Justin Roiland, which is the Disney Plus show. Well, it's not Disney Plus. It's on Stars, which is on Disney Plus. It's not
Hulu in the U.S.
Well, for some reason, I thought it was on Netflix.
Hulu in the it's on it's on Disney Plus for us in Canada. Solar Opposites, yeah, that's just Justin Roiland and another creator. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. And Justin Roiland is a voice in a lot of shows. Dan Harmon also created Community. He got booted off his own show after 3 seasons, which is kind of funny. But
how Kurt
I think
Sutter
mostly
of him.
due to stuff of him not meeting his own deadlines or not meeting the deadlines to create the show, because he's been kind of lazy, which has happened to Rick and Morty before as well. So they do most things separately. Also, the comic book that I have our video coming out on is just Justin Roiland, along with Abed, who I interviewed, and his brother, and one other writer who he mentions in the video.
I mean, Johnny's the star of the chat tonight, and he's not even here. Like, do you see what's going on in there? We have Mike Bish says, I want to cancel myself just for co-hosting with Johnny. And then Matt Whitfield chimes in, I want him to turn in his Packer fan card for that shit last night. Oh, man. Yeah, it was something. You guys can check it out. It's on the channel. I'd say, you know what? You need to see the first part, so just watch the whole 2.5 hours and enjoy. Plus, the watch time helps us. So, Intel Wild sent in a super chat earlier. Our boy Intel, for all 3 of you, cheers. Intel is having a good time tonight. Him and I were texting before the show.
Cheers.
And cheers. You can have my Snapple because it's delicious. Or you can have my vape, which the audience has probably known I've been partaking in so far. So
already?
Dude, have you watched the camera with the blue lighting? You can literally, like, the smoke like rushes up on the camera. Watch this shit.
So I've figured out that when I keep raising up Skype to full view, that seems to be when my camera fucks up. So I'm not looking at full view. I'm looking at like a reduced view, so I can't see everything well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because Skype sucks.
Oh, he was talking to me.
You're like fucking Gandalf, Sean. Learn how to do those smoke rings and shit.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Oh, man, I ended up choking on it. So obviously they have a lot going on, and they're clearly very successful. I've never really gotten to Community, but I know how successful that show was. I actually hear a lot of people talking about, what is it, Solar Opposites? I believe that's what it's called. Like, that's not the first time I've heard that mentioned. I see a lot more people talking about it on Facebook and even on Twitter.
They've got 2 seasons out now.
So, like, that's gaining steam. Rick and Morty's gaining steam. They have a spinoff coming. And I know they're not all involved in all these projects, but I thought I wanted more Star Wars for a really long time. And the greedy guy in me just wanted, fuck yeah, a movie every year for the next 30 years. Bring it on. I'm ready for this. And then I realized, when you don't have time in between movies and time to like savor it, it's typically not as good. I think that's one of the reasons why I like The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises so much. The waits for those movies were long, but they were worth it. And I don't want to see Rick and Morty, become the next Simpsons or something, because Simpsons to me is oversaturated and not entertaining at all anymore.
I mean, the Simpsons, the decline of the Simpsons, I can't say that they're anything but successful because they've been on for 30 seasons, 30-something seasons. But the decline that happened, in my opinion, like right after season 12, 13, it is based on quality. It's not like it's not that it was oversaturated and I was bored of it or anything like that. The quality noticeably went down. And they had different writing staff on every season of The Simpsons, so they were never able to capture what they had before again. And I don't think it's based on having too much Simpsons, because we never got more than one episode every week for the season, and then off season. I don't think the schedule changed much.
Have all the seasons for Rick and Morty only been 10 episodes?
I guess the short answer is yes, but there's a pilot with the first season, so the first season technically has 11.
But that's it, like no more than that.
Yeah,
no.
11, 10, 10, 10.
See, that's cool, because that show is way more successful. Even I know that, how successful it is in terms of mainstream stuff now, that like they easily could have been doing, or have a network force them into or push them into doing 20 episodes or 24 episodes a year. And the fact that they haven't done that, to me, is really encouraging to like, okay, yeah, we could make more money and do more episodes. But no, we're not going to do that. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even they have the Vindicators spinoff is a web series that's going to be short episodes. And it's believed it's going to be about 8 short episodes.
So it's not a full-blown like TV show.
Yeah, and Harmon is doing a show called Crapopolis, which is supposed to be about Greek gods. It's a little bit, it's getting a lot of flack right now because they're doing a lot of blockchain stuff with it, NFTs. Those are pretty controversial right now, but it's also supposed to be just a short, limited series. So these things shouldn't take up a lot of time. Also, they're ahead on Rick and Morty now, because when they were going through recent kind of contract negotiations to get season 4 out there, they were already working on season 5. And it's been confirmed that they're already working on season 6, even though 5 isn't out. I think they're actually already kind of some of the processes into season 7 already. So
nice. That's awesome. I like to see them not water it down. Tommy, I think you can speak to some oversaturated stuff. what's your preference? Do you want to get more of something, or would you rather just be patient and get less, but have it be higher quality?
So I love certain things. I love Star Wars. A project has to really suck for me to not like it. It might not be my favorite thing, but I might still find aspects to enjoy. But then we get to things like The Simpsons. I enjoy The Simpsons. I genuinely do. Even some of the new stuff. I'll tell you right now, though, of the stuff I actually watched, The Simpsons is the one I enjoy the least. Now, there was that other show they had. What was that called? Bless the Hearts. I didn't even watch that. I didn't like that. But yeah, and I'm mentioning this because Wayne Gotke in the chat had said basically The Simpsons is to Fox what SNL is to NBC. I had to check that. I think that's a pretty damn good comparison. The Simpsons has been stretched thin and thin and thin, and they've had to reinvent it in a couple different ways. But unlike South Park, a Simpsons reinvention has never really successfully reinvented this series as a whole, in my opinion. It's challenging. It's challenging. It's a challenging position to be in. So to answer the question, I think we are better off with getting shorter seasons interspersed for on prime whatever time of year it is. If it's just the fall, it's just the fall. If it's fall, take a break, come back. That's great too. If it's a streaming series, that's something else all on its own. I am concerned one day certain series I enjoy might become like that, but for the time being, I'm just enjoying them for what they are.
Nice. I sent you both a message, by the way. I don't know if you guys seen that. And it was just you two that got it, but I thought you would find it funny. All right, as we get ready to transition here away from Rick and Morty, as we have some inside jokes going on, I want to spend a second here and just talk a little bit about Star Wars for a second. Yesterday, Star Wars was 41 years old. Regardless of what you think of each movie, each TV episode, season, whatever, video game, doesn't matter. Just Star Wars as a whole, what's it mean to you as a fandom? Kieron?
I mean, it's something that's like close to me, close to my heart, because it was a big thing when I was a kid. Had lots of Star Wars action figures. I remember very fondly having the what was the version of the original trilogy, came in gold boxes and had those annoying George Lucas interviews in them.
Oh, special edition. That's what this poster is.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That makes sense too. Yeah, because that's the cover of the second one. That's true. That makes sense. I remember watching the shit out of those. I remember watching a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, which is rare for me as a kid. I didn't really care about that stuff. I mean, it's nice that I get to share that with my brother, Thaden, who's a really big, even much bigger Star Wars fan than me. And it's something that brought us together, and I'm pretty close with both my brothers. So it's been really important throughout my life. And obviously I do a Star Wars podcast with my brother as well. But I gotta say, it's become less important to me in this last, last year or so, because the fandom online just drives me crazy. Like, I have no time for these people who are arguing about dumb shit every day. So it's honestly kind of been like a little bit ruined for me lately. And I don't know what else to say about that. I just honestly, I'm less and less likely to go watch a bunch of Star Wars now. I'm even behind on the Bad Batch that's already out, just because I don't want to go online and see people whining and bitching about it. So,
I mean, that's a problem in and of itself. I mean, Star Wars, just like any other fan base, it's got its toxic circles, but then there are some genuinely good people and good social circles to be in. I'll tell you something, though. Have kept up with the Bad Batch. I haven't watched them all at 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of them it's later in the day, or like, oh shit, I forgot I got Bad Batch to watch. I've enjoyed it all so far from what I've watched. I haven't seen many people talking about it, and that's a little concerning. I'm wondering if this series is going to just fall off the side due to disinterest. Hopefully that's not the case.
Fair enough. I haven't seen a lot of online chat about that either. I mean, mostly people are still just bitching about the sequels.
I'm really enjoying it. I am. I think it's a very good follow-up to the Clone Wars.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes. And
me too.
And they were really good. But I see a lot of people not being overly thrilled with the second 2 episodes, so maybe that's why it's quieted down. I don't know. So again, though, who cares what anybody? And I'd tell this to Kieron too. Don't let someone else.
Fuck them people. Their opinions are wrong.
I didn't say that.
Well, so
don't let someone else not liking something ruin something for you.
A comparison is like, so we come on here, our horror channel, and there's 60 to 80 people in the chat sometimes. Obviously, not so much right now because we're on like an emergency switch show. But I come on here and I say, you know what? I like Halloween 5. I get some people in there say like, oh man, Kieron, like, you know, that movie's terrible. But that's all. That's all I get. If you go online and you're like, hey man, I really enjoyed that episode of Bad Batch, people are gonna be like, well, that fucking the guy went onto the planet. It's supposed to be that planet's supposed to be reddish brown, not yellowish brown. Like they showed it before in fucking previous books, and it's always appeared to be yellowish brown, but now they just changed it. Fucking George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy must have fucking fucked up all that shit. They went back there and they had an argument. There's a big divide back there in George Lucas land because of all the fucking shit that they argue about, and fucking Dave Filoni's the only person who's gonna save us now. Fuck. Like the company's going under, guys. Disney's gonna sell it. They're gonna sell it back to George Lucas, and then he's gonna fucking bring it back. Woo! Yeah! Fuck you and your opinion. Like, every day.
Oh, my...
No! 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 No!
Oh, my God. I was trying to chime in there. I'm like, I know I'm really fucking high right now. But is Kieron actually going on about this? And I'm like, oh no, yeah, no, he's going with it. He's going with the full bit. This is a full set. Fuck.
They just like, these people are just way too crazy about it. Like it's the littlest thing could bother them. Like, you know, we don't care that Dr. Loomis is wearing 2 different coats in the, you know.
No, he isn't. You take that back. You take that back right now.
We don't care that he's wearing 2 different coats. Like, and some people will be like, oh man, that was dumb. But like, you know, if that happened in Star Wars, like fucking shit would go off and someone would have to get fired, and it would all be fucking Kathleen Kennedy's fault, of course. And fucking they need Dave Filoni to come in there and save the whole company. Like everything that happens is all crazy and comes back to their conspiracies.
You know, Favreau helped.
You know what? Why I have this poster right here, and it's because I truly believe this. I believe The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie ever made. I believe it's the best movie ever made, period, in all aspects. And I believe no Star Wars movie ever again will come anywhere close to the quality of that movie. Like, I think it's just like a piece of cinema in time that you can just not outdo it, in my opinion anyway, which is kind of ignorant and closed off, but and that's why I keep that up there. But like, there are people that have to have every action figure, every comic, every pug or marble or whatever, Pez dispenser. Like, they have to have it all. They'll kill for it. You know, the people at the first Force Friday, I wish Johnny was here. The dude literally put his hand on the one row and went like this all the way into the car. It's like, are you kidding me? And it's nuts. So part of the fandom absolutely does ruin it. I do agree with that. But more so, it's just really oversaturated. Like, we're going to get more and more and more, and we might enjoy it, but is it ever going to be what it once was? Not in my opinion. Sorry, I know that's deep, but...
It'll never be... I think I mentioned this before, but I don't think anything can ever be as good as it was when you were a child, because I don't enjoy anything as much as I did when I was a child. Like, when I was a child and I won a game of marbles, I was more excited than, you know, if you gave me like $100,000 right now. Like, being a child is something you can't replicate. So when we watch Star Wars movies, we get that feeling like as if we were kids and we're staring at the screen. And like, I know very much when we went to the drive-in theater to watch Empire Strikes Back, I did go back and think like, oh man, I used to love that, you know, my action figures of this character. And I used to love, you know, playing at school with my friends, you know, Star Wars, this and that. But you only get the memory of it. You don't really get it back. So, I mean, I don't think no matter what they do with Star Wars, they could ever get it back. However, the hope is that the kids that are watching these movies now feel the same way. So in the same way that I thought the prequels were, you know, I enjoyed them, but I thought they were trash. The next generation, my brother, thinks they're awesome. He loves them.
Yeah.
So, because he was a kid when they came out and he had fucking 100 different clone action figures, you know? So he loved it for the same reason I loved it when I was a kid.
Forgot you two are old.
Frank is just on fire in the chat. His last two comments, my God. Oh, Frankie boy. By the way, everybody, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this Saturday night at 11 o'clock Eastern time, Frank and Darren are going to be doing their first The Slaughtered Movie Lamb podcast live stream. I'm assuming there will be video. I'm not sure. Haven't talked to them, but check it out on their YouTube channel. Sounds like a fun Saturday night. Frank, if I fucked any of that up, let me know.
Is it like a watch along or is it just like a live episode?
I think it's a live episode. I don't think they've ever done a live episode, so I'm really looking forward to that. Those two are just fucking brilliant, and can't wait for it. So,
yeah, I like their stuff. I mean, if I'm around on Saturday, I might be around for that too.
Good shit. All right. So I've been thinking about Halloween Kills, and then we'll get to our top 10 movies. Comic book movies, pardon me. I've been thinking about Halloween Kills a lot lately, and not from like, oh, I can't wait to see it. I've been thinking about it kind of like the discussion we were just having about Star Wars. It's like, we see it in all the groups we're in the pages we follow and or run, how insane it is out there. Every fucking show, there's people in the chat asking, when's the poster coming? Has the poster come yet? When do you think the poster's coming? What do you think will be on that poster? And it's not just in our chat. It's in much bigger YouTube channels chats.
Don't forget about the trailer.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MSN Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, AIM.
ICQ?
Are those still a fucking thing?
What's ICQ?
ICQ is the messenger that I used when I was in grade 9.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't remember ICQ.
Yeah, it was definitely like